In any country in the world, in any society in the world, if you crush civil society, if you crush democracy advocates, radicalism happens. Either be it gangs, be it violent extremist groups, be it religious fanatics, any violent group fills this void.
Rana Allam is an Egyptian human rights advocate, journalist, and advisor to the Women's Alliance for Security Leadership, a group dedicated to countering extremism and promoting peace, rights, and pluralism. She recently met with U.S. Senator Chris Murphy to discuss how the U.S. can influence the Egyptian government to support human rights.
We spoke about the U.S. Policy towards Egypt, and of course everyone, and of course the senator knows the situation in Egypt when it comes to crack down on civil society, on freedom of speech, of assembly, journalism, and the detentions and the forced disappearances. And of course I was asking the senator to bring our voices, to make our voices heard.
Rana spoke about the state of civil society and the democratic movement in Egypt.
There's practically no civil society. There are very few human rights organizations left, and their job is now to defend those who are behind bars. This is the best that they can do. Our biggest civil society human rights lawyer is behind bars in solitary confinement. So many, almost all of them, almost all those who started the civil movement, the democratic advocates we know are behind bars or have fled the country if they could.
She talked with Senator Murphy about what the U.S. could do to help Egypt.
The money leverage isn't really working now. We already are getting so much money from our Gulf friends, the Saudis and the Emiratis, and so it's not really about the money. It's more about the moral power of the U.S. Also, there are other ways to provide assistance, like we were talking about training the police, training the military, bringing in human rights into the training of our military and our security forces. This is one thing that they can do. But in my opinion, I think the power of the US now is more moral than anything. The U.S. needs to review its policy with Egypt, review its foreign policy, invoke the Leahy law. The leverage the U.S. has is big, so please use it.